going to place ourselves in a parallel position, spreading the toes on the floor, anchoring the heels down. We're going to take our right hand and place it on our left ribs, our left hand and place them on our right ribs. We're going to take a few deep breaths in this place. So we're going to take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. With every inhale, really feel your ribs expanding into the palms of your hands, and with every exhale, feel the tip of your head pulling up. We're going to take a few more breaths in this place. Great. Make sure your knees are soft and the tip of your head is pulling up while your heels are anchored down. We have one more deep breath. And with the exhale, we're going to release our hands down, release the head, and very gently start to roll down vertebra by vertebra. And already here, see that your knees are slightly bent, so you can allow your back to really spill all the way down. Release your head, and we're going to take 2 or 3 deep breaths in this place. We have an inhale. And with the exhale, releasing your head even more down. We have one more inhale, and with the exhale, very gently starting to roll up, vertebra by vertebra, releasing your head. And again, see that your knees are soft and even slightly bent. Once we've arrived up, we're going to place our hands on our lower back, very gently opening our chest up towards the ceiling. We come back to the center, release the hands, bring the chin to the chest, and once again, start to roll down, vertebra by vertebra, heavy head and heavy arms, really allowing the back to spill all the way down. Once you've arrived here, very gently starting to bend our knees and send our sits bones up. Great. So we have this a few times. I don't want us to arrive yet to a complete stretch, so make sure that you're not straightening your knees all the way. Great. Make sure that your head is very soft, and as you're bending your knees, really take them front towards your armpits. We're going to have this 3 more times. So we bend our knees, taking them front all the way towards our armpits. Allow your chest and stomach to lay on your thighs. Great. One more time. Really sending our sits bones up towards the ceiling. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, softening our knees and starting to roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Once we've arrived up, we're going to interlace our fingers behind the back, pull our hands down, and once again, open our chest up towards the ceiling. And coming back to the center, we're going to bring the interlacing of the fingers to our front, sending our hands up towards the ceiling. Once again, soften your knees so you feel your weight going down. Your hands are pulling up. And just start finding this elongation in our torso, in our waist area. We're going to start taking our hands from side to side. And see that you're pulling your hands in a diagonal up. You're not going too much to the side at the moment. Great. Once again, focusing on the breath, coming in and out. We're going to take this in a circle, so the hands will arrive to one side, to the front, to the other side, and to the back. We have this one more time in this direction. The hands go to the side, to the front, rounding our chest a little bit. Hands going to the side, and then when the hands go back, open our chest. Great, we'll take it to the other side. Arms going all the way around, and see that your hips are very stable. You want the movement to be happening from your torso and above. Great, we have this one more time in this direction. And then once we've arrived all the way to the back, open your chest up towards the ceiling, pull up with your hands, And then come back to the center, release your hands from the side, chin to the chest, and we're going to roll down vertebra by vertebra. Again with soft knees. Once you've arrived down, just releasing your head, taking one breath in the stretch, and then we're going to start bending our knees and slightly straightening them. Great. Once again, allowing your knees to come all the way front towards your armpits, and then sending your sits bones up towards the ceiling. We have this twice more. Great. Next time we bend our knees, we're going to take them all the way down towards the heels. And we're going to start shifting our weight front and back. So we'll take our hands a bit forward and bring our knees towards the mattress. And then sending our weight back towards the heels. So we have this a few times. You can do this in your own rhythm. Start feeling the opening of the toes and of the arches. And when you go back, feel a small stretch for your Achilles. Great, you can start feeling the anchoring of the palms of the hands to the mattress. Great, and then we're going to take our hands forward, placing the knees onto the floor, and we're going to arrive into a sixth position. In the sixth position, place your hands under your shoulders, push the floor with your hands, and feel that you're widening the mat a little bit with your hands. We have an inhale. We're going to open our chest up towards the ceiling, and with an exhale, rounding our hips, rounding the back until the head comes in. With the inhale, sits bones coming out, vertebra by vertebra, until the chest opens and we can look up or front. And with the exhale, sits bones rounding in, stomach starting to pull in, chin towards the chest. So we have this a few more times in your own rhythm. Inhale to open the chest, and then exhale, rounding the hips, rounding the back, and it comes in. Great. We have this one more time. Great. Once we've arrived into the arch, we're going to go back into the center. We're going to take an inhale, and with the exhale, the right hand will come off the floor about 1 centimeter. We're going to push more from our left hand and really feel the tip of the head pulling front and your sits bones pulling back. Great. Very gently placing the hand back down. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, left hand comes up off the floor. And once again, see if you can take your weight a little bit front and then push more from your right hand. And very gently placing the hand back down. Inhale. With the exhale, the right hand comes up once again. And see that you're not leaning to your left. You want to really be in your center and push more from your left hand. And very gently placing the hand back down. Inhale. With the exhale, the left hand comes up. And very gently down. With the next inhale, we're going to lift our right hand and our left knee a few centimeters off the floor, and really see how your center can help you here and feel this line between your shoulder and your right hip. Great, and very gently placing the knee and the hand. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, the left hand and the right knee come up. Great. Feeling the tip of the head pulling front, your sits bones pulling back, and placing the hand back down and the knee back down. We're going to bring a small improvisation for our spine, really just moving in the way that feels good for you today. Allowing the air to come in and out. Allowing your spine to move in the way that pleases you. You can shift your weight front, you can shift your weight back. Great, feeling the distance a bit between your shoulder blades, pushing the floor, releasing down to the floor, bending your elbows, straightening, really whatever feels good. Great, we're going to come back to the center. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, we're going to lift our right hand and our left knee once again off the floor. We're going to send them all the way out, and we're going to stay here for a moment. I want you to shift your weight a little bit front and then push the left hand. Great, and then placing the hand back down. Inhale, with the exhale, the left hand and the right leg come up, and we're sending them all the way out. Great. Feel how your hand is pulling out and your legs are pulling out, but see that your left shoulder isn't coming up towards your ear. We're going to place the right hand and the left leg down to the floor. Great, we have an inhale, and with the exhale, the right hand and the left leg come back up, and we're going to send them once again all the way out. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, rounding our back, knee and elbow come in, chin comes in as well. And sending the hand and the leg all the way out. We have this once again with the exhale, rounding the back, knee, elbow coming in. See that your weight is still front, and the hand and the leg come out. One more time. The hand and the leg come all the way out, and then we place the hand and the leg all the way down. Inhale, and with the exhale, left hand and right leg come up off the floor. We're going to send them all the way out. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, rounding the back, knee and elbow coming in, chin towards the chest. And sending the hand and the leg all the way out. Once again, rounding the back, knee, elbow coming in. See that your weight is still forward. Hand and leg coming all the way out. One more time. Hand and leg coming all the way out. Pushing more from your right hand. Really being high with your chest. And placing your left hand and your right knee onto the floor. One more time, just bringing a small improvisation, perhaps a little bit more dynamic, a little more flow. Great, we're going to flip our feet onto the mat, and we're going to go up into the triangle. In the triangle, see that your knees are soft, and your shoulders are far away from your ears. See that your neck is aligned with your spine, and that your armpits maybe want to look towards one another. We're going to take a few breaths here. See that you can push more with your hands so that your sits bones are really pulling diagonally up. So we want to think of the elongation of our lower back as opposed to the stretch of our hamstrings, at least for now. Very gently starting to walk with our hands back towards the legs. And we're going to take a few deep breaths in this place. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, starting to roll up, vertebra by vertebra, all the way up to standing. We're going to interlace our fingers, and we're going to place them behind our head. With the inhale, we're going to open our chest up here towards the ceiling, and back to the center. We have this twice more. Opening our chest up towards the ceiling. See that your elbows are a little bit in front of you, and pull them up, open the chest, and back to the center. One more time. And back to the center. We're going to start lifting our right elbow up towards the ceiling, finding this elongation in the waist. Great, and then coming back to the center and lifting the other elbow. Once again, as you're doing this from side to side, see that your heels are anchored and really feel your weight on your feet. Take this moment to regain your breath. Great, once we've done both sides equally, we're going to come back to the center, very gently releasing the hands, releasing the head, and starting to roll down vertebra by vertebra. Once you've arrived down, really feel your head slowly sinking down. We're going to start once again bending our knees and straightening them. We can start maybe going a little bit quicker And if you want, you can shift your weight a bit more towards your heels. Great. We have this twice more, bending our knees and straightening them. Once we bend our knees, we're going to take them once again all the way down towards the heels. And we're going to start shifting our weight front and back, just as we did before. Great, start seeing if you feel a little bit more warm, whether it's in your arms, whether it's in your stomach, maybe your feet feel a little bit more open now. Great, we're going to come back with our knees down into the mattress, and we're going to return into the sixth position. Once you've arrived in the sixth position, make sure that your hands are underneath your chest, underneath your shoulders, really pushing that floor with your hands, and see if you want to widen the mat. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, we're going to lift our right hand and our left leg off the floor. We're going to send them all the way out. We're going to start taking our right hand slightly to the right and our left leg slightly to the left, creating a small diagonal and coming back. We have this twice more, opening the hand and opening the leg, and back one more time. Great, coming back to the center and rounding the back, knee and elbow coming in once again, and the leg coming out. And with the exhale, rounding the back, see that your weight is forward, and see if you want to bring your chin towards the chest. One more time. And hand and leg come all the way out. We're going to stay here for one more moment, opening the hand back to the right, the leg back to the left, and back twice more. See that your stomach is engaged, see that your weight is a bit forward, and push from the left hand. We're going to place our right hand and our left knee onto the floor, and we're going to take the resting position for a couple of breaths. If you want to start shifting your weight a little bit from side to side, feel free to do so. Softening in your hips. Great. We're going to come back into the center, and we're going to start rounding our back and coming forward into the sixth position with the round back. And then sending our sits bones back, opening the chest, and going all the way down towards your heels. We have this a couple of more times. Rounding the back, stomach starting maybe to pull in, coming forward with the round back. And then send your sits bones back, opening the chest, and really trying to keep your chest as forward as possible. One more time. Rounding the back, sits bones rounding in. And opening the hips, chest and face forward. Great, all the way down. And we're going to come back into the sixth position. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, lifting our left hand and right leg off the floor, and we're going to send them all the way out. We're going to start taking our left hand to the left and our right leg slightly to the right and back. So we have this twice more. See that it's a small diagonal, it's very slight. And back to the center. We're going to start rounding the back, knee and elbow coming in, and arm and leg going out. We have this twice more. Rounding the back, see that your right elbow isn't locked. You want to soften your elbow. Arm and leg going all the way out, and one more time. Rounding the back, stomach pulling in, and the leg going all the way out. One more time, we have the opening of the left arm a bit to the left and the right leg a bit to the right. Coming back. Twice more. Also here, feel the tip of your head pulling forward. And very gently placing the hand and the leg to the floor. And we have one more time, small improvisation of movement for the spine. See if you have a little bit more warmth in your body. Once again, shifting your weight front and back. Trying to separate your ribs a bit from your hips, allowing them to move in different directions. Great. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to flip our feet on the floor, and we're going to go back up into the triangle. Once we've arrived in the triangle, we're going to start bending one knee at a time and really just walking in the place. Once again, see that your hands are pushing the floor equally as the legs are. See that your shoulders are turned a little bit out, wanting your armpits to look at one another. Great. And once again, starting to walk with our arms towards the legs. We're going to take here a very deep breath. And with the exhale, starting to round the back and rolling up, vertebra by vertebra. Great. Once we've arrived up, interlacing our hands, placing them behind the hips and opening the chest up towards the ceiling. If you want, you can send your hands a little bit further away from your hips. Get a small stretch for your shoulders, and then coming back to the center. We're going to start taking our hands up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start pulling each time one hand. Great. Each time one hand is pulling up and really feeling like you're climbing a rope. Great. Feel the tip of your fingers pulling up, and you can allow your head to fall also from side to side, bringing a little bit more movement into your neck. We have this one more time to each side. Great, and then coming back to the center, releasing our hands through the sides, releasing the chin to the chest, and starting to roll down vertebra by vertebra. Again, maybe with soft knees. Great, once you've arrived down, we're going to start walking forward into the triangle. We're going to take a slightly bigger triangle than before. Really pushing the hands against the floor, sending our sits bones up. And we're going to start bending our knees and bringing our hips towards the heels. And then straightening up. Great, a few times of bending the knees and straightening them. Sending your sits bone as far out as possible. The hands are pushing the floor, the shoulders are far away from the ears. And make sure that your head is aligned with your spine. Great, we have about 2 more times. Really see that you can send your sits bones even more out, really pushing the weight towards the feet. And up, we have this one more time. Great, and we come back into the triangle. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, starting to move forward all the way into the plank. And make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders. And then once again, going back into the triangle. So we have this a few more times, really shifting our weight up and over. We want to stay as far away from the floor as possible, and make sure that your hips are slightly rolled in. And back into the triangle. We have this twice more. Inhale, and with the exhale, also feel the tip of your head pulling out, really lengthening in the neck area. See that your stomach and your ribs are engaged, and going back up into the triangle. We have this one more time, going up and over. We're going to stay here for a moment. See that the hands are pushing the floor, the tip of the head is pulling forward. And see that your knees are slightly soft, slightly bent. Great, we're going to place our knees down onto the floor, and we're going to return into the resting position. Great. We have 2 more breaths here. Great. We're going to come back into the 6th position. We're going to flip our feet on the floor. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, we're going to lift our knees a couple of centimeters off the floor. So we're in a floating sixth position. See that you can push the floor more and really fill in the area between your shoulder blades. See that you're not sinking, and slightly place the knees down. We have this twice more. So with an inhale and then the exhale, lifting your knees off the floor. See that your stomach is engaged, your ribs are placed. And see, once again, if you want to widen the mat by pushing your hands a little bit out against the floor and then placing the knees down. One more time with the exhale, lifting our knees off the floor. Staying here for a moment and just starting to shift our weight once from the right to the left and back to the center and going up into the triangle. Great. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, once again starting to bend your knees, walking in your place, taking one knee each time forward. Great. Placing both heels back down and starting to walk with your hands towards the legs. We're going to take here a couple of more breaths in the stretch. Really allow your head to fall down. Great. We have an inhale, and with the exhale, softening the knees and starting to roll up vertebra by vertebra. Really taking your time. Once you've arrived up, we're going to place our tips of the fingers on our shoulders and start to bring a couple of circles with our elbows. So the elbows come up and over, and allow your chest to open slightly. Once again, bringing your elbows forward, up and over, and opening the chest. Great. We have this twice more, coming around, opening the chest. Great. Opening. And we're going to straighten our hands and bring these circles with straight arms. Great. So we're going to bend our knees when the hands come forward, all the way up to the ceiling, and then slightly bend your elbows as they're coming down. We have this twice more. Bending our knees, opening the chest, softening the elbows on the way down. One more time. Opening the chest. Great. We're going to release the hands, release the head, and for the last time, roll all the way down towards the mat. Great. We're going to start bending one knee at a time. So each time you want to bring one knee forward, and see that you can also add an arm. So whichever knee is straightening, send the same arm forward. If your right knee is straightening, send your right arm front. Really find this elongation and distance between your hip and your shoulder. Great, and then coming back to equal lengths. We're going to start walking forward with our arms back into the triangle. Great, once we've arrived into the triangle, we're going to start lifting our heels off the floor. Great, and then we're going to place them back down. So we have this a few times, lifting the heels and placing them down. Great. As you're doing this, feel that your hands are pushing the floor so that your hips go up as opposed to front. So your hands are pushing the floor, your heels are coming up, and your hips are pressed towards the ceiling. Great, we have this twice more. Great, and then we're going to lift our heels and stay up. Start rounding in your hips, rounding the back all the way forward into the plank. You may need to take your hands a little bit forward. And then sending our sits bones back all the way into the triangle. We have this a few more times, lifting our heels off the floor, rounding the back. The stomach is pulling in and arriving into the plank. We have this twice more. We go back up into the triangle. Great, and then lifting the heels off the floor. See that your shoulders aren't coming up towards your ears. See that your stomach is engaged, and going all the way back into the triangle. We have this one more time. Arriving into the plank, staying here for a moment, and placing the knees back down, and placing our hips all the way back onto our heels. Taking a breath here for a moment. Great. We're going to bring our right leg front, and we're going to go into the stretch of the psoas. So we're going to bring our right leg forward, and we're going to sink in our groins area and our hips. You can place your hands down to the floor. And I want you to feel the stretch in the upper part of your left hip joint. We're going to take here a few deep breaths. Great, we're going to send our sits bones back, and we're going to flex the foot. We're going to take a stretch for our hamstring. You can bring your right hand over the right leg, and just take a few deep breaths. So I want us to focus right now on lengthening our lower back. So I prefer that you bend your right leg slightly and send your sits bones out, really lengthening your lower back. This will increase the stretch for your hamstring. Great, one more time, we're going to shift our weight forward. Once we've arrived forward, you can place your hands on your knees and slightly open your chest up towards the ceiling, finding more of this opening of the chest and this long waist. Great, we're going to place our hands back down to the floor, sending our sits bones back, flexing the foot. Great. We're going to take here 2 more breaths. Again, thinking of sending your sits bones back. Great. We're going to release this stretch. We're going to come back into the 6th position. And we have another improvisation in this place, really just releasing the back, making sure we have no tension, allowing your head to turn, seeing that you don't have any tension in your neck. Great, and you can also start using your eyes, really scanning the room, and see if this can add another quality to your movement, especially in your neck area. Great. And then we're going to take our left leg front, and we're going to go and stretch the other psoas. Great. You can place both hands on one side, or your leg can be between your hands, whatever is most comfortable for you. Great. Very gently sending our sits bones back, flexing the foot. Great, and once again, think of sending your sits bones back. We're going to take here 2 more deep breaths. And coming forward into the stretch of the psoas, you can place both hands on your knee, opening your chest up towards the ceiling, looking up. Great, really opening the chest here, and placing both hands back down to the floor, sending your sits bones back, flexing the foot. Great. Very gently, we're going to release the stretch. Once we've arrived into the 6th position, we're going to flip our feet on the floor, go back up into the triangle, and see if you feel that your hamstrings now are a little bit longer. We're going to take your 2 more breaths. If you want, you can whack your tail a little bit. Great. Start walking back with your hands towards the legs. Releasing your head down. We have here 2 more deep breaths. We have an inhale. And with the exhale, releasing your head even down. 1 more time. Inhale. And with the exhale, releasing down. We have an inhale. And with the exhale, softening the knees and starting to roll up. Vertebra by vertebra. All the way up. And very gently interlacing the hands behind us, opening the chest but towards the ceiling, looking up. And then coming back to the center. Good work.